I'm a survivor, survivor. Who will be the ultimate survivor? Let's find out when you spend the day in our shoes. All you creators, our sanctuary is waiting. Who will win the title? Well, it could be you. Survivor, survivor. I'm a survivor.
There we go. Let me remove that. Hello, everybody. Folks, Lester here, and Jamie will be joining me momentarily. I've actually jumped the gun, as they say. Shouldn't have said that. Listen, it is only 7:52, and we normally do go live straight up 8 o'clock. But I did start everything a little bit early because we have some breaking news that I have to talk to you all about, and it's horrible. It's horrible, and it's getting worse. Do you remember on Friday when I told y'all that the things I used to worry about when I was little was quicksand and the Bermuda Triangle, and those are things that like kept me up at night and gave me nightmares? Well, there was one thing that I realized, I did not realize then, I realize now, that should have kept me awake. Hackers and spammers. My friends, I'm going to show you something real fast. And the sad thing is, here's the saddest thing. There's 1.7 thousand people who they actually think they're following Longhorn Lester's. I've been looking for this guy. He's so whatever. And they're not. There are 8 fake Longhorn Lester's pages out there, and they look just like mine. The hackers and the spammers are so darn good that they're fooling so many people. This is the saddest thing to me. And if you're watching right now, don't worry, you're on the right Longhorn Lester page. But there's 1.7 thousand who are on the wrong Longhorn Lester page. Let me play a little bit more of this for you. Look at this one over here. This is what Longhorn Lester's post. Read that carefully. Look at the top of it. Longhorn Lester's post. Let's read it together. To all the faithful fans, I can't thank you enough for all the love and support you all have shown, period. Lowercase I. Really appreciate all what you people have done. Thanks for loving me. May God bless you kindly. Inbox me on this, my private page, and I promise to reply to you. Own this. Heart, 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 heart. Fake people, come on now. How can 1.7 thousand people not realize that this is not me? That's not my page. I was an English and language arts teacher for 25 years. Come on, man. It gets worse. It gets worse, y'all. It gets worse. So there are some people who have discovered that fake page. And so they're going to the comments and they're saying, fake page, you're a fake page. So now this fake Longhorn Lester says, most people think I am scam. This is my private page I use in chatting real fan. Heart, heart. Stop deceiving yourself and live a happy life. Stop harassing me unless I will report. Chilling with my friend, Shitless Homestead. Hold on. People, wake it up. Watch, watch, watch. I'm not making this up. Read it for yourself. Read it for yourself. Chilling with my friend, Shitless Homestead. And here's the picture that he found on my page that he used. A picture that he screenshotted of me and Jake, who is... I'm so sorry, Jake. Jake's page is called Shirtless Jake Homestead, not Shitless Jake Homestead, not Shitless Homestead. Okay, it gets worse. My friends, I'm so sorry to tell you. Now the guy says, wait a minute. People might know that Longhorn Lester's has more than 1 point whatever thousand followers. So now what I'm going to do is actually type in my description that I have 22,000 likes and 67,000 followers, which is still not accurate because Longhorn Lester's has over 80,000 followers, the Facebook page. If you're on Facebook, stop getting, guys, oh my gosh. You have to realize that this person is scamming you. And here's what he's doing. Let me just go ahead and close this, because I'm so darn sad. I'm so darn sad for people who get scammed, because you know what they call that? I forgot the exact name for it, but there's a word. They call it grooming. They call it grooming. If there's a sexual predator, he will or she will, they call it grooming. They'll slowly pull you in, slowly pull you in, slowly pull you in, and then they're going to commit the grand crime, right? The grand act. This person is trying to slowly pull you in. And so far, he's pulled in 1.7 thousand of you. And the problem with that is he's going to at some point say, hey, please private message me. I'm having a problem. I need a donation. I need help. I can't feed the animals. And there's people who are going to fall for that. So what you have to do if you're on Facebook and you see this guy, or you run across this page and you know it's the fake page, you know it is, look at it again, everybody. To all the faithful fans, I can't thank you enough for all the love and support you all have shown, period. Small I really appreciate all what you people have done. Thanks for loving me. May God bless you. Kindly inbox me on this, my private page. It's a fake page. Guys, I'm so sorry. Here's my greatest regret is that Facebook, with all of their almighty power, they can put people in jail, for Facebook jail, for all kinds of things. Yet they cannot even manage to keep fake pages, copycat pages, scamming pages off of their platform. And that's the biggest insult to Facebook ever. And Facebook should be ashamed of themselves. They should be ashamed of themselves. Anywho, that's not what the live is about. It's almost 8 o'clock, and that means it's time to get serious. Now, Jamie is coming. If you come to see Jamie and whatever dress she's wearing and however she's done her makeup, that will all happen. But first things first, I have to talk about someone who I am extremely proud of, who I am absolutely inspired by and have been for a very long time, and who has finally taken the leap of faith and pretty much has moved into a glass house. That's what we call it, a glass house, and opened up a social media page. Not only has this person started herself and her family a social media page, but this week, I think yesterday was the exact day that she even opened herself up more and shown a very vulnerable side of herself in an extremely emotional video that has me still, as of now, emotional. I feel like tonight might be that kind of a night, and I'm embarrassed about it. I'm going to apologize right now. If you don't want to have an emotional filled night, then you might want to go find something else to watch. But I can tell you right now that the video that I watched yesterday, that I watched again today as I was preparing this live, and there were moments that I screenshotted and recorded from that I'm going to share tonight. And I'm going to have my beautiful sister Tina with me, and her handsome he's a little handsome devil, Rob. Y'all, he's just a handsome devil is what he is. And they're going to join me, and they're going to talk about Tina's survival, her struggle with cancer. And we're going to get her perspective, and we're going to talk to Rob about his, and we're going to do that together. And then I'm going to invite you to go by and visit Tina's page and watch her video, because I'm only going to show you snippets over here. But with no further ado, let me show you the page itself. This over here, let me back up a little bit. This over here is the channel. Now, Tina, as of right now, is on YouTube. YouTube is an easier platform to navigate. So Tina and Rob, Living Off the Hill, they are on YouTube. She's already posted 26 videos. Who does that? Who can be on YouTube in like 2 weeks and already post 26 videos? So for everyone who struggles trying to find something to do with your day, and you feel like you don't have enough time already, guess what? Now there's something else you can do. And then, of course, this is the thumbnail that my sister Tina chose to use. Just a gorgeous, gorgeous picture of a woman who's battling at this point for her life. And with no further ado, I'm going to remove that, and I'm going to introduce us, everybody, to my sister Tina and my brother Rob. Hey, you guys.
Hi.
Can you hear me okay?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
So
can you
Rob,
hear us?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
That almost got me teary-eyed saying that already.
The handsome devil part, that gets you emotional?
No.
Rob, you might have to do what I do, buddy. And on my emotional videos, I got to get really, really, really lost in other things, okay? So I'm just going to say I'm very lost right now. You don't know what's going to come out of my mouth, Rob. You don't know what's going to come out of my mouth. But I do want to, Tina, I'm so proud of you. And I texted you yesterday, and I told you how many times throughout your video I got choked up. And I found myself doing things out in the pasture away from everybody else, so I could really spend time with you on that video. And I know that it was hard for you to make. And what I don't want to do tonight is give away all of your video. You and I have talked before about how sometimes people will just take the little cliff notes and be okay with that. But your video is too powerful to anyone to take cliff notes. So if you don't mind, Tina, I did use a couple of snippets of your video that I want to play tonight and talk to you and Rob about. And as of right now, I'm just rambling on like crazy, but I'm going to get to it. Well, I'm reading the comments. You guys can't see comments on your phone, can you? Or on your device. No. So when you go back later and watch the video, you'll be able to see all the comments, and they're so supportive. And you have to do that at some point, you guys. But let me go ahead and go first to Tina, and I'm just going to jump right into it. You've been on YouTube for a couple of weeks now. How's that experience going?
Actually, very well. Everyone has been very, very kind to me.
How about you, Rob?
Same. Everybody, the comments have been very kind, and nobody's saying anything negative so far yet.
Y'all don't have any haters yet?
No.
Well, I had one kind of comment that hurt my feelings a little, but it wasn't that big of a deal.
So you'll have to learn the hard way. I'm sorry about this, but we by nature are people pleasers. Our entire family are. Rob, I know you are too. You know, we want to please our boss, want to please our kids, we want to please our in-laws. We want to please everybody. And so it's hard when you go on social media, and at some point you have to really realize that you're not going to please them all. There's going to be people that are going to find fault with everything that you do. But Tina, in this first video that we're about to talk about, there is no way that anyone could ever find flaw with how you handled yourself in this one over here. The strength it took, and Rob, the strength it took from you to get through this moment. But Tina, I'm going to jump right into it if you don't mind. I know we're moving pretty fast, but here's something.
There was a lady, because guys, I went through this chemos, and I would sit there all day long, 8 hours in that doctor's office, 8 hours getting that port. And there's other people in there with all different types of cancer. And I would start talking to them. And, this was an 18-week period. And I started making friends with them because you see them all the time in the office. And one lady had passed away.
All right. So I'm going to pause it just right there for a second, Tina. Because that made a connection to me, but I'll talk about my connection to that. But I want to hear your story about that first. You're sitting there for all of those months and for all of those hours in each setting, and you're having to take that chemo. And like you said in your video, you're sitting there and you're talking to people. I guess they're in chairs beside you. I don't know. I'm only imagining how that room must have looked. And so you're sitting there by yourself, and I guess you had your phone or a magazine or whatever. But more than that, you found more comfort in talking to the people who were beside you.
Well, let's remember, we didn't have phones like we have now. That was in 2008, so we didn't have the internet on our phones.
Oh, I didn't even think about that, Tina. You're right. So instead of using your phone like we would do today, you're sitting there talking to people in the old days. You're like in the old days. You're actually talking to
conversations.
People. Yes, you're having real conversations.
Yes,
and I know that you talked about obviously getting to know people, watching some people get better, watching some people, you know, kind of demise, and you even ended up losing one friend during that set during, you know, how, I mean, obviously I can't say how hard was that, but what did that do to you? How did that affect you knowing your day by day? Was it?
Because you don't know what's going to happen. Like, you don't know what your end's going to be. And every day when you're going through that and you're striving like to get better, you don't know what your end's going to be. You don't know what moment are they going to tell you, hey, it's not working, like the cancer's not going away. Or, I mean, every time you go in for the blood work, and then you're hoping your blood work says, okay, you can get the chemo today. Because if your blood is not strong enough, you can't even get the chemo. And that's what the one lady, she kept having to go to the hospital and get transfusions because her blood she didn't have enough cells to get the chemo. So you have to go in there and hope and you're like hoping you can get it, because if you don't, the alternative is worse.
Yeah.
So it's just, you just never know the outcome. And when you see other people, it's like you're watching other people around you, like this one's not making it and this one's getting worse. And you're just like, what's it going to be like for me? And how bad is it going to get for me? And so it's just scary. The unknown is always scary.
And so you're sitting there building relationships with everybody, and you found yourself in the same situation, maybe like you said, maybe different types of cancer, but you're all fighting for your lives. And along the way, some are making it and getting better and some are not. And so that I think would have been terrifying. Do you wish it had been more private? Do you wish you would not have had to have seen that? Or did that give you hope? Did it make you feel worse?
Sometimes you feel guilty because they have this thing called survivor's guilt, and sometimes you feel bad that I'm not getting sick and you are. Like, why are you getting sicker than me? And then it's almost like you feel bad for yourself to be getting better and they're not. It's a lot of emotions. And I guess every chemo room I've ever seen has always been like a big open room with a lot of recliners, and they're just it's just a big waiting room, but there's recliners everywhere, there's TVs. And so it's not really a private thing. The nurse has to constantly come in and check on you. She checked on everybody, like just walking around the room.
Wow.
And I'm okay to meet the people. I wanted to know their stories. I wanted to know, like, well, what cancer do you have? Well, how did you find it? And, you want to know their stories because you just get to know them.
Right. I'm sorry. Tina, I'm a teacher, and I took all of these notes, and I don't know where I left my darn note card.
Oh, no.
It's okay. I was just trying to keep it in order. I built a little small video, but what I wanted to tell you is that you're going to meet people on social media here, and they're going to share their stories with you. If they haven't already, you may have already read some stories. I know I was reading your comments, and I was reading about people who had similar situations, or who had a mom or a sister or a brother or a son or a daughter. And a lot of people will share their stories with you. And I'm just going to show you a small video clip of something that I did. And this is the connection that I made to your story. There was a lady, her name was Barbara, and she loved the channel more than anything. And one day she wrote, and she said that she's been kind of undergoing what you're doing with the chemo and the radiation. And she said she's not doing too well. And she just wants me to know how much she has enjoyed watching the ostriches. So I thought I would do something kind of nice for her. We emailed back and forth for a while. And I went ahead and went out and did something. I don't know. I connected to her, I think, sort of. And so I went outside and I made her a little video. I'm trying to send Miss Barbara a thank you for watching our videos every day. So I go out with Carl and I'm talking to birds and I'm just watching the videos. We're blessed to have you. And so I tell her thank you. But Tina, I want to show you this over here. Now that didn't line up real good. That was 4 months ago. And as of today, there's been one view on that. And that was from me when I just now made it. What is that? And so here we were emailing back and forth. And she's telling me how much she loves the birds and how much she loves the ostriches and how she's never been close to them. And so I go out one day and I make her that video and I email it to her and I give her the link. And there was never a view. She never saw it. And I've never heard from her since then. And so that one view was from my view tonight when I opened it to play it to make the video for us. And so when you talk about, and this is where I kind of get emotional, I don't know you don't know what your story does to help other people. But I kind of feel like through the video making and stuff, it is a way for us to touch other folks, or at least kind of like, number one, with your story, you let them know that they're not alone. You let them know that you've been through it also, that there is a light at the end of the rainbow, that there's going to be some bad days, but if you just can, keep working and keep trying. And for all the things that you said, the joy and the entertainment and the fun that you guys bring with your channel, with your grandkids and all that you do, and with your children also. They're not near as funny as your grandkids though. But no, but the thing is, you do provide, sometimes it's just temporary entertainment or a temporary getaway. And so never think that by making a video is just a waste of your time, or it only got so many views, because the one view that may have watched it may have been that person, your Miss Barbara, who needed it for whatever she's doing. And maybe she was the lady who is sitting there in chemo, watching it, getting a smile or a laugh that particular day. So never, ever be discouraged by that kind of stuff. But that was a connection that I made to you, talking about your Miss Barbara and my Miss Barbara. Let me go ahead and go a little bit further in this video to this part over here. I'm sorry,
How
Tina.
many pain pills could I take that would make it stop hurting, but would not kill me? Because obviously I didn't want to die. And it was just so hard. Like, that was the worst thing I could think of, is the mouth sores were so bad. And they would come and I couldn't sleep at night, and it just hurt for like 3 to 4 days. They would come, and I knew it was coming every time. And then they would start to go away.
So I'm going to pause it right there for a minute. And Tina, if you knew how many people email or send messages, or I even read in some of your comments yesterday about how they related to that part of your video more than anything else. Now, you said that you didn't know how many pain pills it was going to take to make the pain go away, but not kill you. A lot of people, Tina, believe it or not, can sometimes be so stressed and so hurt and so depleted that they may not even say that last part of your sentence. How many pain pills would it take to not just be here or feel this anymore? Or if I fell asleep on the road right now, do I really care if I wake back? There's different levels of people who are going through tough times and stuff. And so I admire you for knowing and for saying that you just the hurt and the pain and stuff that you had to go through, and you just kept working and just kept going through it. And this is where the fun part gets. Rob, I'm coming up to you. Get ready.
Okay.
You just playing this. Oh, wrong one.
They come. Oh, they're so bad. And then they start going away. So about 3 to 4 days they would last. And then that last week, the third week, I would feel good. Like, almost like not back to my normal self, but I would feel good. And my doctor, Dr. Baltz, he said, that week you feel good, you try to live your life to the fullest. Like, you try to make that week. So every 2 weeks you're living for that third week. And he said, go to dinner, have a margarita, like, enjoy your husband, like, go on date nights and just try to live your life to the fullest. So we did,
Tina, I know exactly. I watched the video. Rob, could I get you to talk a little bit about your experience? Obviously, weeks 1 and 2 were the really hard ones on Tina. So you're watching all of those weeks. Could you also see what she was talking about? Could you sense when she was feeling bad, when she was feeling good? Did you have to ask her how she was feeling?
Absolutely. When the first week, she would feel a little bit tired a lot. And the second week was the worst. Like she said, talked about her mouth sores. And then the third week, she started feeling better again. But at the end of the week, she goes, oh, no, I got to go back and get another one and start the whole process over again. But every chemo cycle, you could see her getting weaker and weaker and weaker every time. She never bounced completely back. It would just she would get weaker and weaker every week.
Was that something that you and Tina talked about, or just something that you observed and was scared to talk about?
Well, Tina we've always been really open with each other, and we could talk about anything. But I could say just visually, I could see my wife getting weaker and weaker. So I feel emotional on myself.
It's okay.
It's okay. Well, then, Rob, it's time to embarrass you a little bit. So when Tina says that it was time for a date night on week 3, what kind of stuff did y'all do on week 3? Keep it family friendly, Robert. Please keep it family friendly.
We usually go out to dinner. I'll take her to wherever she likes. She likes places a la Matina. She really likes, or she loves papas or papas, whichever pronunciation. Okay. But those are some of the things. We go to dinner, maybe take her to the movies, stuff like that. Just normal date nights.
So y'all pretty much lived for week 3 then. And how long did that go on, Tina?
Because I got the chemo treatment, I got 6 of them, and I would get them every 3 weeks. So it went for like 18 weeks. But the last one was prolonged a week, so it was like 19 weeks total.
Okay. Wow. So 19. That's ridiculous. There's one last section I want to share, Tina. Let me go ahead and find this and play it for you now. And then this is so darn powerful and hard to watch.
There's so much to this story. It's very interesting, actually. This is not the sad part. This is where I'm finally happy because the cancer's gone. I'm done with my treatment. You know, my hair was starting to grow back. I was starting to feel better. I started going to the gym every morning and working out. And so I was really starting to feel like, okay, I mean, this is good. And this is good. This is the good part. I didn't die. I stayed healthy. You know, I learned a lot about myself, really, a lot about myself, a lot about my friends, and a lot about my family, quite honestly. I know that my sister-in-law, Leanne, will always, always, always have a place in my heart because of how loving and caring she was to me and helping with my boys, and was always there for me no matter what I needed, or even didn't even ask for anything. She would just show up, or, you know, she would watch my boys sometimes so I could just take a nap. And so, you know, I love her for that.
I'm going to pause it right there, Tina, and I'm going to bring in, we have a special guest who's joining us. Can you see who I'm looking at, Tina? Leanne, how you doing, Lou?
I'm good.
Can you tell Dan to turn? Would you tell Dan to turn his phone off? I can hear Daniel's phone.
No, his phone's not on.
Oh, I hear a reverb somewhere. Okay, that's fine. Leanne, I also watched from, I will say, a distance. I watched Tina in her struggle, and Tina's right. You were there all the darn time. Why? Why, Lou? Tell me about your part in all of this. Tina said, go ahead.
That's what you do for family. You can't take her sickness away or help any other way, so you help any way you possibly can. I mean, that's what we're supposed to do.
I know,
and I love her like my sister.
Oh. I cut you off, Lou. You said what again? You love what?
I said I love her like my sister, so that's what, you know, that's what I needed to do.
Well, we appreciate you for what you do, Lou. Tina, had forgotten about how much of a part Lou was in your life during all of that time. And so that's true. A lot of times after your chemo, you weren't able to drive, right? So because you were so sick. So you needed someone to pick you up and take you home and do all of those kind of things. And like you mentioned, Lou also would watch your kids. How hard was that, Lou, watching those two? Oh my gosh, Elijah, Bennett, Dustin, come on.
That wasn't bad.
Oh, Lou's being sweet right now.
I had Jake, remember?
Yeah, that's true. Jake was kind of their babysitter, I guess. Their cousin babysitter. And you're used to it with Jake and Brianne, I guess.
Right.
So that's good. Well, Leanne, Lou, I wanted just to thank you for being there for Tina. Tina, I want to talk to you more about that part. I know that Leanne and Daniel are driving right now. Where y'all at, Leanne?
We're on our way to Round Rock.
Are y'all on vacation?
No, it's work.
Work. All right. Well, thank you, Lou, for jumping in, and we love you, and we'll see y'all when y'all get back. Safe travels to you.
All right.
Love you, Lou.
Bye. Love y'all.
Bye, Lou. Tina, you talked a little bit in that section about how much Leanne was there for you, and that you also said you learned a lot about your friends. Did you learn more good or more bad about your friends? You can be honest, because I've told my story about my friends plenty of times that and it's okay.
Well, I wasn't working at the time because I was going to school. So I was a stay-at-home mom and I was going to school. So I went to school 3 days a week and I was home. So I didn't have like a big friend group at the time. I feel like I learned more about my family.
I'll let you talk if you want to. I will just say, though, while you're thinking about how many people I read in comments who also learn about their friends and their family more when times are hard than what they do when times are good. And you ever heard that expression, fair weathered friends?
Yes.
The old folks use it all the time, that there's a lot of friends when times are good. When you got money in your pocket, when you're at the top of your health, when you're going out, when you got a car and they don't, man, you can find a lot of friends. But when times are hard, that's when you really can find out who your true friends are and who are the most supportive in your family. And so without saying anything specific, Tina, would you say that you had an eye-opening experience from all of that and you learned?
Yes, I would just say that some people handle sickness in different ways, and some people can't handle it, quite honestly. Even the people that you think love you the most, they just can't handle it sometimes. So avoid rather than, they just can't face things. But I did have a couple of friends that always were reaching out and always emailing me, always sending me cards, and those people are still my friends to this day. And then of course I had Leanne that stepped up to the plate and just, was just always there. Robert worked afternoons, so he would sit with me. We would take Elijah was in daycare, then it was in school. He would drop Elijah off at daycare, and then he would come and sit with me until he had to go to work. So he would sit with me on my chemo days, when I would sit there all day and talk until he had to leave to go to work. But Robert was, quite honestly, I never, ever could expect a person to love me through all that and take care of me the way he did. I would be embarrassed sometimes because there's so much that, you just don't really talk about because it's it's just disgusting or gross, or my body had been, mutilated, almost like cut and scars. And he was never, he just was right there all the time to bandage me, to wrap me, to whatever I needed. It was just, we'd only been married because we got married when I was 30 and I was 36. We'd been married for 6 years, but he
really knew in all of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the hardest thing was for me is that when she got diagnosed, all these what ifs go through my mind. And, when there was a possibility that she might not make it, and I'm going to have to raise these little kids, my little boys by myself. And then I would have to deal with, I could deal with my pain losing her. I would hate to lose my wife, but I would have to deal with my children's pain.
Yeah.
That they lost their mother.
I can't imagine, y'all. I've never been in that situation, and I can't imagine. I want to share something that I saw on TikTok that made me think about Rob and Tina. If I can add this real fast to the story. It's real short, but it's powerful, very powerful. I think
if I was to fall onto the floor, the fall wouldn't hurt me. Hitting the ground would. So many people think the pain is in the fall. The pain is in what you hit and how far you fall from. Look at him. He's hurrying because what he understands right now is that him being out of place as my partner can cost me my life. But whenever I'm talking and do y'all realize I still fail? I just didn't hit.
So I'm going to pause it right there. And it kind of, in a way, it kind of makes it a powerful image of you falling and Rob's there to catch you. So you never had to hit.
Right.
Now, obviously, the analogy of a guy just falling backwards is nothing like what you went through with your cancer. But what I'm trying to say is having someone to catch you and support you, even for the temporary, make you never had to hit. And then you had Leanne who would catch you and lift you back up. And you had Rob who'd catch you. And no matter which way you fell, you had somebody there to help you and catch you and hold you until you could get back on your own feet and stuff. And I saw that, and I don't know why, but it resonated with me kind of the way it was with you, with your support system around you. And I was just going to tell you that you're going to find out through social media that now it's not just about your videos, but you're also going to have to be that person to catch others when they need you the most. And so as hard as it is, go ahead, Rob.
No, I did. I was listening. I was just listening. But
No, I was just going to say that you find yourself when, when you're tired and you're trying to go through your comments or your emails and your messages. And sometimes you don't know what to tell people besides just, I'm so sorry for you. I'm so sorry for you, because you don't know what else. But I think even taking the time to listen to their story is in a way catching them before they fall all the way and hurt themselves, So it's just a very inspirational story, Tina, and very powerful story. And I'm so blessed that you were able to tell it, and just such courage you showed. I'm going to try to make the mood a little bit lighter now, if it's okay, Tina and Rob.
okay.
And I don't want to, Jamie's here almost. Babe. Listen, though, this is funny and not funny. Tina, people are going to hate me after I tell this part of the story. And I'm so glad you did not tell it in your story. But Rob, I think you might remember this. The day that Tina came home from the hospital or from her doctor's visit, and she had her diagnosis or her prognosis, whatever you call it. And it was going around the hill. It was spreading around the hill that Tina has breast cancer, and she's going to have to do all this stuff. And so I think that one at a time, we were making our way over to visit you guys to kind of talk to Tina and love on her and love on you. And so when I go over to visit with Tina, I'm so sorry, but I took my 2 dogs at the time. I had 2 dogs who I loved like crazy. And those 2 dogs, my 2 dogs followed me over. And Rob was very kind, and he let me in the house to talk to Tina alone. And we were in the room talking. I think you were laying down, Tina. And all of a sudden, Rob came in the house just screaming at the top of his lungs. Do you remember the story or not?
I know what happened. I don't remember all the details. I think I had surgery that day and I was kind of out of it.
Okay, well, I'll tell you.
But I know what happened.
So Tina had this cat for years and years and years. And she had been attached to this cat. It was her best friend. We all know, everyone who has an animal, a pet, knows. And if lo and behold, on one of the hardest days of Tina's life, when she's in there laying down, recovering from whatever she'd gone through, and I go by to visit with my dogs, if my dogs don't get a hold of her cat, and Rob comes in the house screaming at me, Rob, do you remember this, Rob?
I remember it a little bit.
If y'all have forgotten, then I'm so happy y'all forgot. I'm sorry that I even brought it up.
Nothing like open up wounds.
I'm sorry about opening up a wound. But my dogs got a hold of her cat, and I thought if I didn't make things even worse, because now her cat, because of my dogs, and I just felt horrible about that. And then there's one last thing, Tina, that I have to ask you. And Jamie swore I can't mention this, but I just cannot help but ask you.
I'm ready.
Okay. Rob, you can answer if you want to, if Tina's too embarrassed to.
I feel like I should leave. I feel like
no.
I told you no.
This is a good question. It's a good question that everyone probably needs to know. Tina, so you had a double mastectomy. And then you said your exact words were, hey, if life gives you lemons and you make lemonade. So
yes.
In so once everything was taken care of, you were able to go get breast.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so 2 new breasts. And
yes.
then the doctor, in your video, you talk about how the doctor did some 3D nipples. I'm not laughing.
Okay, hold on though. He told us to get a Playboy magazine or some kind of a girly magazine, find the nipples that we liked.
Mm-hmm.
So Robert and I had to go.
And the breast size.
Well, we already had picked the breast size. We already knew the breast size. So now
who decided on the breast size? You or Rob? Be honest here, Rob. Why are you smiling? Don't look at her, Rob. Don't look at each other. Do not look at each other. Put a divider.
Rob's a butt man.
Tina chose a breast size.
So we got these magazines and we looked at so many nipples until we found the nipples that we liked. Then we had to find a 3D tattoo artist.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
we went off of Jones Road in Houston and found a guy that was like really, really well known for his 3D tattoos.
Okay.
We have to go meet with him. We call, we want to meet like at like daylight in the middle of the day. We don't
Actually,
go.
he opened the store early.
He opened and met us,
For y'all.
and I explained my situation to him and told him what we were doing. And he was like, oh my gosh, because my plastic surgeon wrote about it in his journal. Like I was one of the first ones they skin grafted nipples on.
Okay.
So this guy was mentioned in the journal. Anyway, he tattooed the nipples on my hip, and then we had to go back like twice to kind of fill in and make them look just the way we wanted. And when they were perfectly the way we wanted them, and I had healed, then we had the surgery, and they cut them off of my hips and they attached them to my breast. Yeah.
Wow. This is kind of a dumb question, but I'm curious. Did y'all get the nipple or the breast the exact same size, or does one hang lower than the other one to make it more real?
My breasts were actually perfect.
That's not real. That's not even real. Every woman I know has something different about them, Rob, and you know that.
Okay, listen. Robert. Because of the radiation and the one side is really tight, it's kind of pulled up some.
She's hiding.
So one hangs a little lower. So one does hang a little lower, but just a little.
Good. So they are normal then. So you're normal then.
They're a little normal.
You can come back up. Sheesh, Jamie.
I just feel bad.
She don't have to wear no bra ever, though. That's what's nice.
I don't have to wear a bra.
They stay up all the time.
They don't move.
That makes me a million times jealous.
Well, that's what it says. When life gives you lemons, you make lemonade. That's what that means.
That's all I can
do. Might give you grapefruits instead. You probably didn't go with the lemon side.
Life gave you grapefruits.
Rob got it.
Rob did. Well, we are a fun-loving family, and we can joke this way. A lot of folks in the comments are not really getting at my humor. Some are, and some are not. I don't know if our numbers just dropped or not. I'll check that later. But it will be fun to watch later. Tina and Rob, I want to just say thank you and that we love you guys very much. I wish we had more time to spend together, but we do have some things coming up in the future. Rob, have you invited Tina to prom yet, formally?
The promposal was posted tonight.
Oh, we haven't had
so
time
there
to watch
was a promposal. Well, I can't wait to see that. Good.
Got a twist to it. There's a twist.
I can't wait.
What, you had to ask him? You had to ask him?
I'm not telling you. I'm not giving you spoilers.
Okay, don't give the cliff notes. Okay, so everyone who needs to know, I'm going to go ahead and return back to this page right there. It's Tina and Rob living off the hill. They have 26 videos up, so you guys can learn all about them. But please take time to look at her survival story video. And now my next video is going to be the promposal. I have to go see how Rob or Tina or
whoever. Did you use a megaphone, Rob? Because that's kind of how we do things over here.
Yeah, I just megaphoned across the pasture to Jamie, and then I put sign yes or no.
That's good.
That's cute.
We made it work. You said yes, right?
I said yes.
She actually never replied. I don't know if she said yes or not.
I said yes, and you told me that you changed your mind.
Oh, I changed. Yeah, she told me yes when I was sleeping, and I said, "Forget it. That was yesterday." So anyway, no, we will let you guys go. We want to thank y'all for joining us, Tina. And I know talking about things like that was hard, Rob. It has to be hard.
It is.
But does it make it easier now that you've done it? Curious.
Yeah, it is. It's easier now.
Yeah,
it's easier now. And
just
then,
so back then.
Say it again, Rob.
It was just so scary back then. You just never know. So it was just so scary.
Yeah, I really can't imagine. I don't know. I can't imagine. But we love you guys, and I guess we'll see you guys at the prom. Probably not. That's like less than 2 weeks away. Y'all know that, right?
We're ready.
We're ready.
Okay, I want to tell y'all about one event that I'm going to plan that we're going to all have to do.
You can't tell them right now.
I'm going to tell you right now.
You can't tell them right now.
Listen, Tina, there are 6,996 people watching right now, and I'm going to tell them, Robert, you have to do this. Okay. We're all going to put on a blindfold and go to the dance floor, and I'm going to have the DJ play 10 snippets of songs, just snippets, like 30 seconds. And we're all going to be blindfolded, and we all have to dance to that song. Now, there's going to be
all the dances.
Okay, but hold on. If Robert's like me, I can dance hip hop, and I can dance country, but I am not a 70s groove kind of guy, whatever.
You just did it.
That's not my thing.
I heard that you used to be a break dancer though back in the day.
Yes, but the thing is, it's not all going to be breakdancing songs. It's going to be a whole mixture of different genres and different decades.
Don't worry. Lester's going to break out some moves, and we're going to break out the Advil too.
Well, first, I will break out my Jim Beam Vanilla. I can promise you that. So, anyway, Rob, you have to participate. You have no choice in this. You all have to dance. It's going to be fun. We're going to all embarrass ourselves, but we'll be blindfolded, so we'll never know how we look until we go back and watch our own videos later.
That'd be fun.
Awesome. All right, that's coming up in 2 weeks. We love you guys, and we thank y'all for joining us. Tina, thank you so much for taking that leap of faith and opening yourselves up like that. And Rob, you being so supportive of Tina. And anything else y'all want to add to that story before we cut you guys out of here?
No, we're good.
We're good.
Well,
love you guys.
We love y'all, and we'll
Have a
see
good
y'all
week.
later. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye. So Tina and Rob living off the hill. What are you doing that for?
Somebody said, Lester, just make sure you leave your socks at home.
Jamie, how would they even know about that?
Because you've told the story, and so has Uncle Dan.
Isn't it crazy that you don't even care anymore? You just don't even care. Let me just wrap up this thing about Tina and Rob real fast. One, I would say, of all of the Morrow Hill creators, Tina has the most profound of stories. And so I can sit there and say all day that, look at me, I'm a survivor. I survived flooding from Hurricane Harvey. I lost my house. I lost my animals. I lost my tractor. I lost my fencing. But I did not come this close to losing my life. I did not come this close to having my kids grow up alone and leaving my partner and all of the things that Tina and so many of you, I'm reading the comments the best that I can, and I'm seeing over and over and over the number of survivors or those who are fighting for their life right now. And so I don't, it's not really comparing apples to oranges, as they say. I'm not trying to make, so-and-so's story is better than so-and-so's story. But in fact, we are an entire family of survivors. Every last one of us, you with the ordeals that you had to struggle and fight your way through and still are, and me and my struggles and all of these folks and all the good people on Morrow Hill who are, making their videos and finding themselves through social media. And,
I think that one thing that like the line that we use that says, because we're all survivors of something, I think that many times in life, you can look at other people and think, poor me, I'm dealing with XYZ, but we don't know what other people's battles are or what they've overcome to be able to be standing there today. And I think that what these pages have done is really show people reality. I think that, and I say these pages, the Morrow Hill creators and many others out there, the more real that we can be with y'all, the more normal it makes you feel, and that you're not singled out or alone and struggling through those things, and that you will survive, and that you will, you will pull through, and you will find strength to have another day. And I think that that's one of the most profound things about Tina's story, about your story, about mine, about the rest of the people that we know who have shared their pieces, that you're not alone. And that other people have gone through it too, and that no one is perfect, and it doesn't discriminate and pick one and not the other. Everybody has survived something.
Yeah, I'm trying to. They're going so fast, but a lot of folks are telling their personal stories, and I just can't catch them. Y'all do not click on those links or whatever. What you do not click a link. But I'm just going to hide the comments. I can't catch them. I just can't catch them in time. But I'm reading people who've lost siblings, who've lost a mom, who lost a partner, who lost a dad. And there are so many people out there that have lost from this. And so I like someone said, hey, it's not a competition.
It's not a competition, but I do think that it helps you to realize that you're not alone. And that everybody has a battle they're fighting. And some of those might be really hard battles. And some of those might be really minor. And that is just, remember to give each other grace.
Well, no matter what battle you're fighting, to you, it's a battle. A battle is a battle nonetheless. And whereas some battles might just cause you great pain, but not be life-threatening, trust me, it's still a battle. And so I understand there might be consequences or effects of different battles that we're all facing. So, but a battle is a battle. And so we do, so, I'm so blessed that we can offer a little temporary getaway, if anything. And it's just hurtful, so hurtful to see all of the people who've lost. Jamie, the comments are flying by. And there's one that lost a mom and a dad. But Tina's story is powerful. Can I put my hand a little bit there? That's my bad shoulder. I'm trying to hug her.
So you want me to rub it? Is what you're
I'd
saying
rather just
right
put it
now?
right there on your lap and you can just rub it and stuff. That would be great. All right. So prom is, it's hard to change the tone of Alive when we talked to Lou and the fact that she was so good to be there for Tina during all of that time. Lou has always worked. Tina talked about survivor's guilt. And
while you're doing that, I just heard something. I'll be right back.
Oh, Lord. What Jamie heard was a cat. We have kittens in our laundry room. And so we listen to them all the time, and they will let you know what they need and what they want. But I know Tina talked about something that I did not give her time to elaborate on for a purpose. There was a reason behind that. And I knew that she was going to struggle with that. But what she said is very true. There's people, and we'll just put it into the whole category of friends and family. There were people, and I will even add a category of church. There's people who you think will be there for you when you need them the most. And how shocking that sometimes they're not. As a matter of fact, many times they're not. And so you don't have to call names. You can just say, everyone knows that there's people who you think should be there and would be there when you need them. Someone like the little TikTok show, someone that you can fall and they will catch you and bring you back up. But unfortunately, that thing about survivor's guilt also has a partner, and it's the person who can shut things out of their mind and pretend like they're not happening. And that's even a worse thing to have, I believe. I don't know what they call that. But there is two different mindsets when you run across somebody who's going through something like that. On one hand, you can have the survivor's guilt, like Tina mentioned, where they go all out and try to do whatever they can to help you because they were not affected, you were, and they have kind of a guilt about that. And on the other hand, there's that other kind of people who pretend like it never happened. If I don't talk about it, I don't see it, I'm not a part of it, then it's not really happening. And that is what I think is the biggest hurt of all. And so when I've talked about my Hurricane Harvey experience with losing the house and losing stuff and the fears and everything else, it was more of those kind of people, the ones that completely walked away and like it never happened. And so not talk about it. It never happened. And so sometimes they would actually choose not to be around you so as not to talk about it, not to have to ask you how it's going, not to have to ask you, can I help you? Can I do anything? And like I said, that was not only family, that was also best friends. And that was also church, the people in church who you'd been a part of that church for years of your life. And you're like, where are the people who I thought would be there to catch me when I needed them the most? And that, to me, was the most hurtful. It was one thing to have to go through all of the loss. Jamie, your story, even though you're sitting there holding the cute little kitty, you also talk about in your story about the people that you thought should have been there to protect you and help you also pretend like it never happened. It never happened. If it never happened, then we don't got to talk about it. If it never happened. And so I think that you too would agree with what I'm saying, even though no one can focus on anything serious.
I can't listen to anything you're saying right now. You said it's hard to change the mood, and then I heard a noise, and I'm like, I'm gonna change the mood, and I come out, and well, here I am
with the kitty. So we brought the 5 kittens over from I'm a Survivor. Guys, I'm just gonna say this in a nice way. They were tearing the heck out of my house. They were tearing the heck out of my house. That was a nice way. These kittens, as cute as they are, were destroying my home. And they're kittens and they want to play. And they're finally old enough to not need mama. So we put mama back in the barn where she belongs. They're going to take her and get her fixed. And then we got these munchkins over here in our nursery, and they're doing wonderful.
Our nursery, aka laundry room, bathroom.
Yeah, it's our nursery. It's our nursery. It's just been a nursery for where we've raised calves. Don't turn my computer off, little one. Raised our little baby bottled goats, and now we're raising kittens, and we've done everything in there. I'm not choking her.
That cat just rolled its eyes at you.
I'm not choking her.
That cat just rolled its eyes at you when you did that the first time.
So she put her hand between my fingers. I'm not choking her. She's like resting herself right there. But this is Jamie's favorite by far. I thought you liked the little black one.
I do
more,
like
though.
the little black one, but this one's so pretty and unique, and I just had to bring her out.
Yes. Oh, by the way, we have 5 kittens up for adoption.
Yeah, anybody want a cat?
Anybody?
Cats.
Actually, who would like to have 5 cats? We have plenty of barn cats over here. I'm a Survivor has plenty of barn cats
Somebody said at
over
least they
there.
aren't in the walls.
They're not
Thank
in the walls.
you, Jesus. Yes, you are correct.
No, they're actually sweet, sweet kitties, and we love on them all the time. But no, they will be moving out in about 2 weeks to our, we'll get all the vet stuff taken care of as soon as that's available.
This week is vet week.
And then, so in about 2 weeks, if anybody wants a kitty or 5 kitties, then we got some sweet ones over here.
Mm-hmm.
We will make sure that they all are neutered or spayed. They'll all have their vaccinations and anything else that they need. And then they're off to good homes. And if they can't find good homes, then we'll give them a home here.
They'll be fine here,
But we don't need more barn cats. We have so many already, Jamie. The thing about barn cats, and people don't understand this, is that it's hard to ever catch all of the barn cats in one video because they're all over the place. They literally are all over the place.
The woods, they come out of the pastures, out of each barn, out of the shop. I think that Nikki Bella has been living upstairs again. Like, it's just great. Now, the good part is that they're all fixed, and these will be fixed too. So no more babies, no more babies.
No more babies. That's great. That's true. Even though they are cute when they're little, they're so
They're
cute.
Adorable. Did you happen to see today at the sanctuary the babies? You didn't see them. I just ruined it. Crap.
The chicks. Yes, I did. I'm sitting out there with the horses, and I'm loving on the horses, and I'm doing what I do. And if all of a sudden here comes some hen with about 3 or 4 chicks.
Now, she's the same size as Nate, so they are tiny, teeny tiny Serama
and she just
babies.
come prancing across in front of me like she
they're
ruled,
cute.
like she runs that barnyard. And I'm like, what a no! I screamed it. But here's the problem, y'all. They get up in that hay and they lay their eggs.
We didn't know she was up there at all.
And you don't know they're up in there. And next thing you know, they come out with all these babies.
Yeah.
And I'm just so glad that Longhorn Lester's doesn't have to deal with all of that. So who is Hank? Hank is our little bedroom kitty.
Yeah.
Mr. Hank, he's been around here for like 13 years. So, all right. Well, is there anything that you want to add? We're talking about prom. You have to narrow your prom costumes down. I
do have to do that.
I have my 3.
Yeah, so I have to find 3 that match his eras. Now I have them here. I'm just gonna have to do a fashion show night. Maybe that's what Time Out Tuesday should be.
Oh, your fashion show.
Yeah, but you're gonna have to like help me get in some of these because some of them need like strapping in.
Oh Lord.
So can you be available Tuesday evening?
See, here's the thing. Girls think that is sexy and romantic. And that's not always that sexy or romantic. It's not. It's not. Having to
Okay,
zip
I'll ask
or
Brie and
unzip.
Steph to come over. It's fine.
Yeah, girls and doing it to other girls is fun. And that's like funny. But for a guy to sit there for a whole hour and have to zip and unzip and zip and unzip and zip and unzip, that's not real romantic. So if you're looking for romance,
No, I was looking for strapping in and zipping things.
All right. So, Jamie, we got to talk about this over here. Brenda says, RV decisions. Brenda, we have narrowed it down to 3.
2.
So one of them is all about space. I'm just going to say that. One of them is all about space and good looks, but it's a little bit bigger, which means maybe a little bit harder to pull and harder to park. The other is smaller, has a beautiful design, but there's not as much space. And so,
And
what?
number three was one that had a garage on it. And to be honest with you, it was too much.
That was never.
So I took it out. I took it out of the ranking of the final three. So.
Yeah, that was never really a part. Even though it was part of the video, one that we toured, it was never really that we would have. There was no way that was ever going to make it to the final cut because it was just too much. It was stuff that we don't need, guys. And I also want to talk about the fact that we went by and visited a place to test out our RV when we get it. And a lot of people were very mean about that. And I don't really get it. We completely understand that when you take it down the road and you want to go on an RV experience, we got a book. Jamie got a book. Karen sent us a book that was the neatest thing.
I can't put it down. Like I just read it while I was.
This book was showing you every RV site across this great country of ours. And it gave you ideas of what seasons and what to expect. And I mean, it was a very well-written book about RV travelers. And so we will absolutely, when we find time to get out on our 6 trips, we're going to take that book. It will become our RV Bible, right?
Mm-hmm. And
we're going to follow that book to the T. But the RV park that we snuck into was just an idea, a place to test out the RV. I don't guess you really watched enough of the video to hear that part, but everyone told us when you first get the RV, which will be this week, you have to take it somewhere local and test it to hook it up.
Test all the functions.
To make sure everything works.
Yeah.
You never want to go on the road on a new RV on a road trip because unfortunately there's always going to be something or another wrong. Now, hopefully if we find something wrong, the RV place will take care of it. They would never want us to make a video about, oh my God, can you believe? No, you want this to be a positive experience to make a positive video.
Yeah.
But for everyone who was just like really like kind of
let down, I think people were
let down and even upset that we chose to visit that particular RV spot. That's just our testing. That's our testing dummy.
So it's clean, it's safe,
it's close.
It's close. It had very easy access, but it also had no issues with their hookup. So a lot of the things that I've read are that you get to a campground, and I'll be honest with you, I watched Steph's video of where they hook it up to sewer and the sewer backs up into the camper because it's just not a well-maintained campground. I wanted to be able to find a campground that we knew that their part works well, and that there were good resources there for us to be able to utilize if we need to. By resources, I mean people that know what they're doing.
My biggest thing was I want to make sure that if it is in fact my maiden voyage, even if it's local, I want to make sure that I can pull it, I can park it with no problems. And so even though it may have appeared to be just another parking lot to a lot of folks, to me, it was a really good idea to take for our first test run. So when we do get and we select the RV this week, I can tell you right now, we're going to that location with it and for our first visit, and we're going to enjoy it. And we'll make our first video from there, I guess, right? Of our first.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be fun. And as far as winch RV, guys, we really have gone back and forth, and we've talked about it and we've prayed about it. For some reason, God don't answer those kind of prayers for me. God doesn't just say, choose number 2. I don't wake up with one side of the blanket wet and one side of the blanket dry. You don't know about that? It's from the Bible. It's from the Bible. There was a guy that asked for a sign. He asked God to send him a sign.
And you wet the bed?
No, it was a sheepskin. Which don't ask me. Jamie, please stop making that face. Someone who knows the Bible knows about this. There was a guy who needed a sign from God, and God sent him a sign, and that sign was one side of the sheepskin was wet and one was dry. Please tell me I'm not making this up. This was not a dream. Maybe that was the dream. I'm not making this up, y'all. Please, you can go to Google and Google the story, and someone's going to tell you that I'm not making this up. Gideon, where's the Gideon? Gideon. All right, if someone can, that's not how you spell Gideon. It's Gideon. Someone Google Gideon, sign from God, and you will see that I'm not making this whole thing up, okay? Someone goes, if that's true, it was just due. So Katie says it was Gideon. Okay, thank you. So see, Jamie thought I was making up all kinds of horrible, vulgar things.
Because you've never done that before.
I would not do that about the Bible, Jamie. I would not do that about the Bible. Another thing that has come up quite a bit this week, and we got to hurry. It's already been over an hour. We're going to get everyone mad at us. The whole Facebook's going to be so mad at us right now. Is that what? Tell me what's going on with Facebook and YouTube. You don't want to talk about it?
No.
I want to go ahead and reemphasize one last thing. Jamie, do me a favor. Not that one. I want you to read this word for word out loud.
Most people think I am a scam. This is my private page I use in chatting. Real fan. Stop deceiving yourself and live a happy life. Stop harassing me unless I report chilling with my friend Shitless Homestead.
Shitless Homestead. I'm not making that up. There it is bigger. I'm chilling with my friend Shitless Homestead. And this over here, that's Shitless Homestead right there. That's Jake, y'all. That's Jake. That's shirtless Jake Homestead.
Oh,
guys, do not fall victim to the fake pages. Please, if you see these fake pages, report them. Go to them and put in the comments, you're a scam, you're fake. Find the people who follow them. Message them and say, you're following the fake page. Send them the link to the right page. I feel so horrible for 1.7 sweet people.
Can we get a Shitless Homestead shirt, though? Because I kind of want that. I got to be honest with you. Bree-Pat got a shirt. Why can't Shitless?
Bree-Pat did get a shirt. Someone send Jake a shirt that says Shitless Homestead and put that picture on there. Jake needs that. Shitless Homestead. Listen, this is out of control. Do you agree it's out of control? Jane, and so if you're saying, Lester, why don't you do something about it? They blocked me. This page blocked me, so I can't do anything about it. There's 8 of these pages that block the real Longhorn Lester, so I can't stop it.
If nobody makes Jake that shirt, I'm told that's his Christmas gift from me.
Shitless Jake.
And
Shitless Homestead.
Maybe I should do parodies for everybody's channel for Christmas. That would be fun.
That would be fun. But no,
Bree-Pat's sticking. Sorry, she gets to keep that.
I just feel horrible about this. Let me go to that page where it talks. Yeah. And then this guy over here, 4 hours ago. Look, Longhorn Lester's post. To all the faithful fans, I can't thank you enough for all the love and support you have all shown. I really appreciate all what you people have done. Thanks for loving me. May God bless you kindly. Inbox me on this, my private page, and I promise to reply to you on this heart. I'm going to tell you right now, he or she is Nigerian. He or she is Nigerian. I'm not being racist. I'm not. I know the language. I know the way they use the language, and this is Nigerian. So if you're following this page, you're in fact following a Nigerian spammer / hacker, and this Nigerian is about to take you for all you're worth. He's grooming you. He's grooming you into believing that he is me, and at some point, he's going to ask you for money if he has not already. And 1.7 people believe that he is me, and he's not. Please, people, help them. Help these 1.7 people know that what's happening to them. Don't make these folks fall victim to this. This is the
Are you okay now?
No, I'm not.
Take it down, because all you're doing is giving attention to it.
Well,
and you're sending people there.
If you go there, you better go there to report. What? Report. Stop. Seriously, stop. This is not a joking matter to me. This is not a laughing matter or a joking matter or squeeze my knee matter. This is a very serious matter. This is a guy who's grooming a lot of people, who's somehow Facebook is allowing to have 1.7 thousand followers as a fake page, who's slowly getting ready to start asking you for money if he has not done it already. And it needs to be reported, and it needs to be reported, and it needs to be reported. Now, I'll stop.
Okay.
And you have nothing to say. Well, that's just great. You squeeze my arm to shut me up, yet you don't have anything to add to it.
Thank you all for watching.
It was a very powerful live. Make sure if you've not already gone by to check out Sister Tina's page. That's it right over there. That's the actual video you'll be looking for. And this is the page, so you don't end up finding yourself on the wrong page. Tina and Rob living off the hill. And such a powerful, powerful video. So thank you all for watching. It was a pleasure having you guys tonight. I know we kept you guys over the hour, and that was not our intention. A lot going on, though, but we will let you go. Have a wonderful week. Let me hide this.
I'm going to go watch that promposal video.
I'm going to watch the promposal, too. I want to see how Rob proposed to her. But there's a twist. Tina said there's a twist. It's a promposal with a twist. And I can't wait to see that.
Same.
Thank you again to Leanne, to Sister Lou. That's Daniel, my brother Daniel's wife, for being there for Tina. Because like Tina said, and she gave props to Leanne for being there for her when she needed her the most. So thank you so much, Lou, for that. And thank you, Lou, for joining us tonight. While you're traveling, she still took time to jump in and join our live and just say hi to Tina and be there for everybody. So that was powerful. All right, guys, we'll let you go. Lots of videos coming up this week. We don't skip a day, y'all. We don't skip a day. It's what we do, and it's what we love doing. So thank you so much, and we will catch you guys on the next video.
Thanks, y'all. We love you.
Survivor. I'm a survivor.